Here we are with a little bit of a surprise. We have the Nissan Versa, and the reason why I'm doing a review on this car is because my wife's car was at the body shop. She had a deer run into her. You know, we got it back. There's some other problems with it, so it's back at the body shop, and why not take advantage of having the rental car and do a little bit of a review on it. So the 2021 Nissan Versa, this kind of fits in a little bit of the economy class. I do believe it has a 1.7 liter engine. It doesn't seem slow by any means, really, but you know, it's not, I guess it's not the fastest car in the world either. You know, one of the things with this car that I noticed right away, and actually, hold on, we'll just do a quick acceleration. So it really has, you know, it really does wind up, which you do get out of a 4-cylinder, but that one is really working. And that's what it, you know, and that's fine. You know, if you're looking for an economy car, that's fine. College student, or you know, you want to be a daily commuter that, you know, you put on a decent amount of miles. This thing gets about 40 miles to the gallon, and of course that depends on, you know, the weather and that type of thing. In the winter, you're going to get a little bit worse. You know, so that's where we're kind of at. But I guess one thing I was gonna say I noticed right away was when you get in this car, there is not a lot of room for your head for getting in, and really, I guess, not a lot as you're sitting in there. Do I feel like I'm going to hit my head? No. Maybe coming in if I'm not paying attention, but as I'm sitting in the seat, no. It has an ample amount of space for driving. I'm 5'11". You know, I guess American size is what I keep referring to. You know, I'm not tall, but I'm not really short. Average sized person, I guess, or American size. A little, you know, you can take that how you want, I guess. The seat seems to be pretty comfortable. I do have it all the way back right now. I don't know that I would have enough to room to fit behind myself in this car. Hopefully I can get a video with a walk around on it and, you know, put that together in this video. You know, it drives good. It was a little bit pushed around by the wind this morning on the way to work. I don't think it's an overly heavy car. I think this thing, the curb weight is well under 3,000 pounds. But they're, you know, like I said, it is what it is. Being an economy-minded vehicle, I guess I can't say, you know, after driving it a little bit, I can't say this would be a horrible place to be. It is kind of interesting. It has some styling cues that are kind of interesting, where you have the flat bottom steering wheel here. Hopefully you can maybe see the tachometer there. It's interesting because the tachometer is a digital display, but to the right of that, for your speedometer, that is analog. I mean, they both have an analog readout, but one is projected on the dash digitally over analog with you know, a conventional gauge. So that's kind of interesting. The other thing I did come to learn is that, oh, I better stay in my lane here, and it is flashing at me that I went over my lane. It is telling me that I went over my lane there, so that's a good thing. Is it does have a kind of a hidden sport mode button. If on the back of the shifter, there's a little round button. You kind of gotta bump your finger into it to know it's there. Like I said, it is a rental. We don't own it, so it's not something that I sat and looked through the owner's manual or researched deeply into the world of Nissan to figure out what's going on with this. But it does, yeah, it has a sport mode that you can barely know that it's there. It does bring up the RPM, about 1,000 RPM when you push it, to give you a little bit more torque. If you, I guess, want to feel sporty in a economic 1.7 liter car. It does have, from looking at the mirror, blind spot monitoring. I haven't had that come on yet because I've only been on a 2-lane. But it's not, I guess it's not bad, you know. I don't think it's really like a family car type thing, you know, unless you had, you know, 2 people and 1 kid, that would work out pretty good. But after you get past that, it's probably going to get a little cramped. It does, however, have a decent sized trunk, which is a good thing, you know. So that's the thing, if you're buying this as a second vehicle, or that, you know, or somebody, like I said, a college student or whatever, you want to have a little bit of storage space, because your car breaks down, it gets hit by a deer, you know. You go to if you go to a second vehicle, you want to be able to have room to get all the groceries and, you know, throw the kids' backpacks in and stuff like that. Now, I'm not saying that you can't fit the whole family in here, because you probably could, you know, if you had to. And that's what you're looking for if you're looking for an economy car, something that can get the job done. It may not be convenient as you'd like it to be, but, you know, it does what it needs to do. Would I want to have the family in here every day? Definitely not. I know how that goes. They make 7-seater vehicles for a reason. That's why we have our Outlander, and I'll do a review on that one when we get it back from the body shop. If anybody's looking for a cheaper, decent 7-seat vehicle, the Mitsubishi Outlander, that's not too bad. Again, that's kind of a economy-based vehicle, but we're getting off subject here. We are on the Nissan Versa, and, you know, it's a fairly good car. You know, the one thing is the HVAC button here, or switch for where you want the air to flow. It is hard to see what selection you have it on, so you kind of gotta turn it to where you can see that. And but, you know, is that the worst thing? No, not really. One of the other things that I noticed on the way to work this morning was I didn't have control over the high beams. It has automatic high beams, and today on the way home, I noticed that when I go to put the high beams on, the high beams actually come on. So it must think that it's a little bit darker than it was this morning. Maybe it is. I don't really think that it is. But I guess that's something that you don't want to have to tell somebody about if they were to use your car or that type of thing. Hey, this is what you're going to get when you try and use the high beams. You may or may not get the high beams. You know, we're all used to push forward or pull back to get the high beams, you know, on probably 99% of the vehicles out there, unless you were driving something that was quite a bit older and you still had a vehicle where the high beams were on the floor and you had to step on that switch. That is a thing for you younger people out there, that you used to have to put your foot over a switch and push down on it for the high beams. But in today's modernized world, that's not something that we really think about too much, and nor should we really have to explain it. Like I said, maybe I'm doing something wrong with that, but, you know, overall the visibility is good, the mirrors are good, it drives good. It is what it is for an economy car, and if that's what you're looking for, this wouldn't be so bad. And it's not bad, don't get me wrong. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Okay, and welcome back. We are again looking at the 2021 Nissan Versa. Here's a little look at that 4-cylinder engine, which I have to make a correction, is a 1.6 liter. When you do go to open up the hood on this car, the prop rod drops from the hood. It is not located down on the fender at all. Something to keep in mind, as I just found out. So kind of take a look at that. Okay, so here we are again with the 2021 Nissan Versa, and we can take a little walk around the outside here. And, you know, it's not a bad looking car for something that's in this class. And, you know, I can't really complain too much about the styling cues for the outside of it. it is a little interesting with the front end, I guess, but you know, that's kind of the look that Nissan's going with. It's not a bad look. That's where they are with their branding on how it looks. So, you know, you kind of have, you know, it's a normal commuter car for the most part. The one thing I did talk about earlier in the video is the space inside the car, and as you can see here, I can get in this car in the back, which is surprising to me for something that's in this class. And yeah, my knees are touching if I was sitting behind myself. It's not some place where I'd want to be for a long time. However, you can get 4 decent sized adults in this car. You know, can we get 5? Yeah, I guess that'd be pushing it. So, you know, there is a fair amount of space here. Headroom is a little short in the back, that's for sure. As I understand that this car is probably a little smaller than the previous generation of this, and when I went to this generation in 2020, and you can definitely see that with the headroom. I'm not hitting my head, you know, maybe if I leaned way over here, but there's not much space above that. So if you're a little taller than 5'11", probably wouldn't want to be in the back seat, but it would work if you had to make it work. And kind of a little bit of a look at the other angle of the interior that you didn't get to see in the driving video, or early in this video, I should say, the driving portion. One of the other things that I should show as I climb up now is we'll take a look at the trunk space, because the trunk space is pretty good for a car in this class as I open the hood release. Not to get that confused. So one of the things with this is that I have my junk in here. You know, it's a rental car. Let's just fill it up with our stuff, you know? So if you take a look in here, you know, it does have a decent amount of space back here, which is a great thing. 60-40 split seats for those longer items. And there's some storage down here if you needed 2 jumper cables or whatever you'd want to put down there, which is nice. And apparently that's where rental car companies keep their owner's manual under the floor in the back, in case you're curious and you needed some reading material on your trip. So there you go. With that, we're just gonna throw this back in there, so that's out of the way. And the 2021 Nissan Versa. Thanks for watching.